What's up? We got The Flash, Season 1, Episode 15, Out of Time. So this episode starts off 1 year ago, or 9 months ago, comparing when the show started. And we see when the show started, and we see Clyde Mardon get into a plane with a Mark Mardon. Yeah, Mark. Remember when Clyde shot Joe's partner back in the first episode? Yeah, he gets in the car. He explains how he's always been trying to look out for him since he was 10, and they get hit by the particle accelerator explosion. So then we see Barry and Iris, and actually we see Barry and Linda and Iris and Eddie all go into the same bowling alley. And we got to see some flirting between Barry, Iris, and Barry, which Linda and Eddie kind of pick up on. Later, Iris kind of says it was nothing, but we know that Iris and Barry are meant to be together. Hashtag West Allen. So, yeah. So, then we see a coroner, and he's attacked by Mark Mardon, who... and he's like, who? And yeah, so Barry's, Barry and Eddie go to the crime scene. Barry sees a version of himself, but he doesn't know what it was. So then he goes to the coroner's office he accidentally bumps into Captain Singh. Captain Singh gets mad at him for ruining his fiance's new thing, and so then he sees that they're all bumped. Oh, so they think it's Snart, but he's like, why would Snart kill a coroner? And also starts gun when go that fast. So then they reveal that it's Mark Martin, and he's in the corner. So he's like, who killed his brother? And he's like, Joe West did. So that means that Mark Martin is after Joe. And who's also up into suspicion? Cisco, because Cisco is up to Cisco is up to is thinking about some suspicious things that have happened. So Barry and Joe Joe's like, so Barry's like, hey, like, Joe's like, Barry, keep Iris out of this. So they go into a car. Iris talks Eddie, and he's like, you guys, you and Barry were awful, flirty. And she's like, no, they're just friends. And he's like, hey, I know that you guys go, and he's your boyfriend, and hopefully something more. Yeah. So anyway, then we see, so then we see it's raining, but they turn on the weather, and the weather's like, it's really sunny, and they're like, Martin. So Martin tries to cause a thunderstorm to kill Joe, but Barry saves him. So Barry decides to he's like, Mason Bridge is like, hey, the Name Danger Black's defeat, episode 2, Simon Stagg was the last scene, and who enters his office, because Wells killed Simon Stagg. I forgot to mention that, but he did. He killed Simon Stagg to protect the Flash's secret, proving that he'll kill anyone to keep the Flash's secret. But they all think he just went recluse, just like John Howard Hughes. So, but she tries to say, take to Barry, but Barry's like, yeah, someone's gone to Iris's. He's like, yeah, she's wrong. Like, there's nothing up with Dr. Wells, but Cisco starts thinking, maybe Iris is onto something. Maybe there's something is up with Dr. Wells. So he's like, hey, Caitlin. He tells Caitlin everything about how Barry, and she's like, that's absurd. How could have Wells had anything to do with Barry's mom's death? He didn't even know Barry. So, yeah. So he's like, hey, keep Dr. Wells at Star Labs. So he investigates. So yeah, so they're talking when when she goes to pay for them, he just randomly disappears with only his wheelchair being left behind. Yeah, that is weird. That is a weird thing. So yeah. So Eddie so Martin attacks Star Labs. Martin attacks CCPD. I don't know why I said Star Labs. Martin attacks CCPD, and then he attacks CCPD, and what happens is that Singh gets attacked, but doctors say that he might not be the same person he was. And yeah. So Joe gets captured by Martin, gets thrown out of a window where he and Eddie are, and Martin tries to create a tidal wave. So Cisco is looking at the place, looking and realizing that the reverse flash they saw was a fake one, and Harrison Wells reveals himself to be Eobard Thawne, Eddie's distant relative from the future. Weird, right? Weird. Yeah. He reveals that his plan wasn't really to kill Nora at all. It was there to kill Barry. And Cisco's like, wait, hold up. But you've been helping him. You've been teaching him how to get fat. And he's like, he's been only doing that so he can find his way back home. And he's like, that means Joe was right all along. Bum, bum. Joe was right all along. And he's like, Cisco, I've grown very fond of you. You're like a son to me, but I gotta kill ya. Boom. And he says to him, Cisco's been dead for centuries. And Cisco dies. R.I.P. Cisco. But not really. But R.I.P. Cisco. So yeah, so Barry and Iris are running. Barry and Iris are running. Bam, 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 bam. When the tidal wave hits and Barry's like, hey, Caitlin. And she's like, Dr. Wells. But before he can say anything, so yeah, before she could say anything, he's like, never mind that. Can you help him run stop the tidal wave? And she's like, you'd have to go very fast. I don't think you can run that. So Barry reveals himself to Iris in a very weird scene where he just spins around. He just zooms around and somehow gets a suit on, even though he didn't have a suit on, unless he has a suit on. Like, I'm so confused about the scene. So he's like, I didn't want to find you out this way. I didn't want you to find out this way. Now Iris knows the secret as he zooms off. But yeah, as he zooms off. So he's zooming, but then he travels back in time. So everything that just happened never really happened. Cisco's still alive. Iris never found out a secret. He and Iris never kissed him. And Caitlin never, and Barry and Martin never attacked the city. Because Barry goes back in time to before Martin's attack, and when Martin attacked the corner, and when Martin just attacked the corner, and I'm really confused. This was a great episode. We now know Wells' true name, even though Barry went back in time, so Cisco still thinks he's Harrison Wells and not Eobard Thawne. We know he's Eobard Thawne. referring to him as Eobard Wells or Harrison Thawne or Thawne/Wells. I'll have to come up with that. So that was a great episode. I can't believe all the shocking turns it made. Barry's when in the previous timeline, I'm gonna call it the previous timeline. In the previous timeline, when Barry revealed himself to Iris, that was super confusing because how could he have done that? He speeds around somehow, getting his suit on, even though he didn't have his suit with him. I'm confused. I'm really confused. How did that happen? How did that happen? How did it happen? It's not like he just got his, like, we'll never get an answer to that. But anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll see you next time for some more Flash shenanigans. Or more of the Flash.